welcome to the third session of this Seaborn tour. That it's quite exciting because taona visualization oneka bwino kusiyana ndi matplotlib. So we are looking at presentable visualization that have been given unto us. So this time around, we'll learn about regression plots. Now, what are regression plots? So regression plots, basically, they are just showing the convergence of a certain value of a normal, a standard value or normal boundary or something like that. We'll talk about more on regression in machine learning. But this time around, let's not focus on that thing. Let's focus on how we can plot regression plots, because we'll have much time to talk about linear regression and what not in machine learning. So let's get started. Now, I've already imported my Seaborn library as SNS. So let's continue. So on the regression, for you to import to plot a regression plot, just need to write LM plot. As simple as that. That method will actually plot you regression plots. You need to provide the x-axis, which in this case I want it to be the total bill underscore bill. Then you need to add the y-axis, y-axis. The accent is going, but anyway, let's focus on this thing. Now you also need to add data. Now the data is the tips, and let's also add the u, but you can do it whether you want. Okay, let's not add u first, because we'll add them as options, but it's very important. Now, if you run this, you see that there is a regression line here that is showing that lots of individuals or bills are converging to this line. The nominal line is right here. But you can add some other parameters here in order to check for other data relationships. So the first one is u. U is equal to, you can say 6. So draw according to 6, and let's see, you see that it has now separated the values according to sex, and you see that men and women are converging this side, and there's also two lines that are here. So that's very important to know. Now we're going to change the markers. Now what are the markers? Are the points that we are seeing here. Depending on the values that we have. So for example, if we write like this and say ndikufuna kuti marker ina ikhale ngati ka O, ina ikhale ngati ka V, right here. If we run this, you see kunena kuti tili ndi difference. You see ma females akuoneka ngati ka V choncho, ma males akuoneka ngati ka O. So that's how you can actually visualize in Seaborn using the LM plot. And also we can actually access the API ya matplotlib. So we can just say underscore KWS. That's the function. Now if I say is equal to, this one access lets you access the matplotlib library, and you can put in here my functions are matplotlib. So for example, if I say size with 100, I want to increase by 100 and run this. Let's see. You see we have now increased. So inside the scattered underscore KWS, you can put the values of matplotlib what is called Seaborn. Now let's take a look on how we can also plot these things, let's say, with the other data points in relation to one another. Remember, on the grids we also had this thing. So plot also has got some other cool features that we can actually use in this case. Now let's say sns.lmplot, and let's put here x is equal to total bill underscore bill, and the y-axis should be the tip, and our data should be the tips. Now I want my column to be day. Now you see we are adding this thing. It's the same as we are seeing the correlation. Remember the facet grid? Yes, it's the same thing with here. So we can put we should actually do this with respect to the day. Now let's put u, and let's put u here with 6 and run this. It's getting slow, but it'll figure it out. It's just a matter of I think internet connection. Right, yeah, it's I think internet. All right, let's just wait a little bit, because I think it's because due to the internet connection. Now it's connected. Yeah, we are good to go. Now you see how it has actually, because it is able to understand that we do have 4 days in this data set: Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and it is able to plot the relationship between the tip and total bill on those days. And this thing is very small. You can also increase the aspect ratio. I can just say aspect, I want it to be 0.6, because if you put 1, it's going to be huge. And I also want the size to be 8. So remember, we are actually counting from 8 pixels, from inches, I think, in Python. Default is inches. Now you see that we have a little bit bigger visualization, and you can actually see the relationships of these visualizations. So actually they are looking beautiful. That's why Seaborn library is very important when you are doing professional visualization. Now, speaking of beautiful, let's finish this session by talking about styles and colors. No, that's quite interesting, because we need to learn how we can style these things. So I know that it's optional, but I think it's good that you learn how to style some other things in Matplotlib. So I'll cruise a little bit faster, because I know that this is optional, and I believe that it's not as relevant as we know it. Now, to set style, you can just say sns dot set underscore style. Now remember, this is immutable. It means once you set it, everything is going to be styled in that way. Now let's just say sns dot count plot. in here, so that x is equal to 6 and data is equal to tips right here. Let's learn this. You see that let me show you, there is nothing here that we're seeing that it has changed. Why? Because that's the default about styles. Now if we added this, for example, if we say, let me just copy here and let's say paste right here and put ticks right here, you see the difference. Now have you seen the difference? There are ticks right here and there are ticks right here, but there are no ticks right here. That's how you can add those styles right there. So that's the thing. And you can also play around with the style. So for example, if you come here and say I want a dark grid, so if I say I want a dark grid, you see there is a dark grid showing off right there. That's the thing. Now let's continue. And so these styles are optional. You can actually add the way you want. Now you can also say I want a white grid. A white grid. So that's how you can have a white grid. You see those lines, beautiful. And you can also say I want the ticks, but I don't want the spine. So the spine are the boundaries that we see right here. So for example, if I say ticks here, and to remove the spine, you can just say sns.despine and learn that. Let's see. You see it has removed these sides that are here. Now you can also remove the spines from this side and this side as well. Let me just copy this and show you that the dspine method actually receives the areas. You can just say you can receive parameters that are you can be able to customize. You can just say true here. Left side, I want you to remove that one, and also bottom side, I want you to remove that one. So you can just say true right here and learn. And let's see, so you don't have any spines like there. Now let's continue with size and aspect. I think we have already seen this one, but we can actually increase the aspect ratio and the size using the matplotlib library. So I can just say plt.figure right here. I already imported the matplotlib, so make sure you have imported if you haven't imported this. Just say fig size is equal to the inches, and we have 12 to 3, and let me just say here sns.countplot and put here x is equal to 6, and let's put here data is equal to tips, and learn this. Now I've actually increased the aspect ratio because I'm putting 12 by 3, so 12 by 3 here is as simple as that. We have already looked at this thing before. Now Seaborn actually helps you to customize the look of the chart depending on where you are going to use it. It has got a function called sns.setContext underscore context. Now you can actually choose the say that ndofuna ndi visualization yanga pa poster. and you can set the font scale. Font scale to maybe 3, and here let's just plot a count plot. And inside the count plot, I wanted the x-axis to be 6 and the data to be the tips. Let's run this. Now, I want you to see the quality. You see, it's big now. It's huge. And it requires a bigger screen for me to see this thing. And the font is also huge because I've already increased it by 3 times. So if I put here and as 1 and learn, you see we are back, but the quality is much better than the rest of these ones. Because of what? It knows I want to put this on my poster. Now you can also change this back to say what you want to put it on. You want it to put on the notebook as default because we are inside the notebook. So if I say here notebook, it's able to understand that what I'm doing is not. So this is the default one that you can actually put on your notebook. Now let's finish up with the regression plot because I want to show you something in the regression plot that you can also add. You can just say LM plot right here, and you can just say X is equal to total bill underscore bill, then Y is equal to tip, then data is equal to tips. Then we can also add hue. We saw this before. We can also add hue, say 6, and we can also add the palette. So the palette actually accesses the predefined color styles of Seaborn. Now let me add a new palette called winter, and let's see what it does. You can see we have changed the color states of our visualization. So anyway, this is all I had for you. I believe it was a very interesting journey to learn Seaborn. I know it can be overwhelming, but do a little bit of practice. You'll get a hang of it. So anyway, let's see each other in the pandas section of visualization. I'm not going to take much of our time in pandas because we want to learn plotly, a very interactive visualization too. So anyway, thank you very much and have a wonderful day.